The Vorgon fleet incinerated Lethai's cities from orbit, then launched a secondary strike, digital erasure. Within hours, every record of the Lethai across dozens of civilizations was flagged and purged. But humanity kept backups, a quiet, compulsive habit that other species found pointless. Archivist Margaret, aboard the Memory Keeper, noticed the anomaly during a routine sync. A species had vanished from every index.
A species vanishing overnight? That's not a glitch.
She queried a dozen independent archives. All returned null data for the Lethai. The Vorgon had erased them completely. Not just their world, but their memory. She moved to the deep storage vault, where the Memory Keeper held its true purpose. Her fingers trembled as she initiated the integrity check on the Lethai Cultural Archive. The archive was intact, complete, a living memory. Margaret's resolve hardened. Humanity would not let them disappear. She found Captain Elias Vance on the bridge, studying a chart of silent systems. Wordless, she handed him the deletion logs.
Elias, the Lethai are gone. Not just dead, erased from every library, every registry, everywhere.
The Vorgon. They have a habit of rewriting history. But you found something, didn't you?
Our archival protocols. We kept a full copy. Language, art, genome, everything. They still exist in our vault.
Elias followed her down to the deep storage vault, where the crystalline stacks shimmered with captive memory. Margaret initiated the Lethai cultural construct. The vault hummed as a figure coalesced from light and data. A translucent Lethai female appeared, her bioluminescent patterns pulsing gently. She opened her eyes as if waking from a long dream.
You have found us. Please, do not let our song be silenced. Share it. Let the stars know we lived.
We will. I swear it. Your voice will not fade.
Elias nodded slowly. The decision was made. The Memory Keeper would broadcast the Lethai legacy to a forgetful galaxy. Margaret's call went out on every frequency, an open invitation to witness the Lethai legacy. The Memory Keeper broadcast coordinates into the void. Responses came slowly, tentative, fearful. The major powers stayed silent. Only a few small, defiant species dared acknowledge the signal.
Even a handful is enough. Memory needs only one witness.
The first ship arrived, a battered freighter from a species nearly forgotten itself. Its captain watched the Memory Keeper through a cracked view screen, hope flickering in tired eyes. More ships gathered, each a quiet declaration against the Vorgon's silence. A mismatched armada of memory, forming a ring around the archive ship.
They are afraid, Margaret. We're asking them to risk everything for a ghost.
No, Elias. We're asking them to remember. And memory is the only thing that outlasts empires.
The memorial fleet settled into a silent vigil, their running lights blinking in irregular patterns, a constellation of fragile defiance.
These small lights in the dark, they might be all we get, but they are enough.
Margaret stood on the bridge, the small fleet outside the viewport. The broadcast was ready. The galaxy was watching, even if it didn't know it yet. A Vorgon listening post caught the broadcast signature. An analyst cross-referenced the name Lethai and sent an urgent alert. Within hours, Ambassador Creel's fleet warped into the system, dark angular ships blotting out the stars. Message received. Cease your unauthorized transmission. Surrender the Lethai data or be destroyed. Signed, Ambassador Creel.
They dare to remember what we have erased. Humanity's sentimentality will be their end.
He doesn't understand. We're not remembering for them. We're remembering for the galaxy. He can threaten all he wants. The broadcast is ready.
Creel's ships surrounded the memorial fleet, weapons glowing red. A silent, suffocating intimidation.
Elias, prepare the crew. We may not survive this, but they'll know the Lethai lived.
I never expected to die for a library. But there are worse reasons.
The broadcast countdown began. In 1 hour, the Lethai would sing, or the Memory Keeper would be silenced. The countdown hit 0. Golden Lethai script bloomed from the projector, streaming language into the silent void.
The Lethai bred biological weapons. Their very existence was a threat. You honor monsters, human.
No species deserves to be forgotten. Your fear cannot justify the erasure of an entire culture.
Then the Vorgon jammed the signal. Jagged red waves crashed against the golden stream, and the projection flickered like a dying flame.
Cease this madness. You cannot win. Your ship will burn before their lies spread further.
The Lethai script wavered but held. Margaret rerouted power through secondary emitters, and the golden letters steadied against the assault.
They're targeting our primary array. Another hit like that and we lose the signal completely.
Then we make sure they can't. Divert all non-critical power to the transmission. We hold the line.
The Memorial Fleet watched in tense silence, their running lights flickering in solidarity. They dared not intervene, but they did not flee. The first phase of the broadcast continued, a thread of language against the void. Creel's threats now promised destruction. More ships emerged from warp, their captains broadcasting messages of solidarity. The Memorial Fleet swelled, each vessel a flicker of hope against the Vorgon's shadow.
Enough! You have 10 seconds to cease this transmission, or your ship will be made an example for all who defy us.
We won't stop. The Lethai will not be erased again.
Creel's command ship fired a single shot, a spear of crimson light that tore through space and struck the memory keeper.
Report. Hull breach in Section D, non-critical. We've lost some atmosphere, but structural integrity holds.
Keep the transmission running. Bypass the damaged conduits. We've survived worse.
You think this is a game? That was a warning. Next time, I'll aim for your projector.
He can destroy this ship, but he cannot destroy memory. Not anymore.
The Memorial Fleet wavered, some ships drifting back, but none fled. They were watching a stand for memory itself. The broadcast continued, its golden stream, now a beacon of defiance against the Vorgon's dark fleet. The next move was Creel's. Inside the damaged ship, crew gathered in the central corridor. Fear was a palpable stench. Some voices urged surrender.
Listen to me. This ship is a library, and libraries don't burn their books just because someone threatens them. We stand.
His words cut through the panic. The crew straightened, fear replaced by something harder. They returned to their posts.
Now, let their art speak. Let the galaxy see what the Vorgon tried to unmake.
The broadcast shifted. A swirling Lethai light sculpture bloomed in the void, music and color woven into pure emotion. Then a Lethai city, its buildings grown from coral and light, bioluminescent trees lining peaceful streets. Even on the Vorgon flagship, a junior officer hesitated, her hand pausing above the firing console. Subtle, but Creel noticed.
Fire. All ships, full assault. Wipe that abomination from the stars.
The Vorgon fleet surged forward, but a sliver of doubt had lodged in their minds. Tiny, yet corrosive, the broadcast pushed on, layer upon layer of culture, refusing to be silenced. The crew braced for the storm. Without warning, the archive triggered a priority file. A holographic Elder Lethai materialized, speaking with borrowed time.
We were the Lethai. We did not make weapons. Our only crime was refusing to kneel. Please, let our children's laughter not be forgotten. Let our gardens bloom again in memory.
On 100 ships, alien watchers wept. The Memorial Fleet, silent no longer, began to edge forward. On the Vorgon flagship, a comm officer stared at the projection, her weapon console untouched. Doubt crept into disciplined eyes.
Traitors. All ships, attack. I want that archive ship annihilated.
But his own crew hesitated. The word traitors echoed, and glances were exchanged. The Memorial Fleet, moved beyond fear, formed a protective line between the Vorgon and the archive ship. Leoran's holographic form watched the fleet's courage. A tear of light traced down her translucent cheek. Creel's assault would come. But something had shifted. A ghost had been heard, and the galaxy was listening. Creel's command ship locked onto the Memory Keeper's projector array. A crimson beam lanced out, a surgical strike.
Direct hit to the projection bay. We're losing primary emitters.
Reroute through the secondary grid. I don't care if it overloads, keep the signal alive.
I can feel the data pulling away. Don't let go.
The hologram stuttered, Leoran's form dissolving into static, then reforming. The broadcast held by a thread.
All hands defensive fire. Keep those fighters off our hull.
The Memorial Fleet surged into the gaps, their antiquated weapons spitting defiance. They bought precious seconds.
We've got partial power back. The broadcast is at 40%.
Finish them. Why are you hesitating?
The projection bay was a wreck, but golden light still bled from the auxiliaries. The Lethi legacy refused to die. Creel exploited the weakened signal and flooded every channel with his own version of history.
The Lethi bred death. Their genetic code was a weapon. Humans, you doom us all by resurrecting this plague.
A handful of Memorial Fleet ships, fearing the lie, peeled away. Their thrusters blinked regret.
Elias, we have to show them the truth. I'm going to transmit the genome data.
That's our most sensitive data. If it's tampered with, we lose all credibility.
They need to see it with their own eyes. We can't give Creel the last word.
Margaret initiated the genomic sequence. A golden double helix spiraled into the void, alien and beautiful. The helix glowed, its patterns undeniable proof of a peaceful species designed for art, not war.
Lies. You fabricated that data.
But the data was clear. Doubt seeped further into the Vorgon ranks, and the Memorial Fleet's resolve solidified. The Lethi genome's gentle spirals proved their peaceful nature beyond doubt. Across the Vorgon fleet, weapons officers hesitated. On Creel's command ship, a young officer removed her targeting helmet, her eyes wet with conflict. The Memorial Fleet, once dwindled, now grew massive as ships across the sector responded to the truth.
You betray the Ascendancy. All ships, fire every weapon. Wipe that ship and its lies from existence.
He thinks to break us, but memory does not shatter. It only grows brighter when attacked.
The Memorial captains linked shields, forming a luminous barrier between the archive ship and certain death.
Power at 90%. The environmental projection is ready. This is the Lethi homeworld as it was.
Then show them. Remind the galaxy what we're fighting for.
The projector arrays spooled up, and golden light began to weave a world from memory. Creel's attack commenced, crimson fire raining down. But the Memorial Fleet did not break. The Vorgon fleet coordinated their fire. Hundreds of red lances converging on the archive ship. Explosions rippled across the hull. And inside, the bridge shook like a drum.
Shields down to 10%. Brace for impact.
A volley struck the command deck, shredding panels and tossing Elias across the room. He landed hard, his arm twisted, blood seeping.
Margaret, take command. Finish the broadcast. Don't let them forget.
Margaret climbed over debris to the captain's chair, her knuckles white on the armrest.
I have control. Rerouting all power to projection. Hold on, Liarin.
The projector sputtered, then roared back to full power. The Lethi world shining through the smoke. Creel's voice screamed over the comms, demanding destruction, but his own fleet hesitated. The Memorial Fleet stood, a wall of buckled ships and spent lives buying time for memory. Liaran grew brighter, her voice resonating across every channel. She began to share a final Lethi memory.
Before the end, our elders gathered us in the gardens. They said, "One day, someone will remember. Live in their hearts." We planted seeds and sang to the stars, believing our echoes would outlast the silence.
On the Vorgon flagship, a gunnery officer stared at her firing console, then at the projection. Her hand trembled. Across the fleet, weapons consoles darkened one by one. Vorgon officers refused to fire. "We will not be executioners of memory." The defecting captain's words echoed on open comms.
Cowards, you will all be purged. Fire on the defectors.
But no one obeyed. The Vorgon fleet was fracturing, allegiance dissolving into guilt.
They're standing down. Liaran, it's working.
The Lethi projection intensified. The Elder's memory now a testament to life, not death. Creel was alone.
If you will not fear erasure, then I will make you fear annihilation. Launch the world ender.
From the Vorgon flagship, a doomsday missile tore into the blackness of space, a city killer wreathed in pulsing crimson energy.
He's launched a planet killer. ETA 2 minutes. We can't outrun it.
The tactical display showed the missile's trajectory. If they stayed, the memory keeper would be vaporized in 90 seconds.
We didn't come this far to run. The galaxy will see the Lethi homeworld. We stay.
Margaret, you have done enough. Save yourselves. We are already remembered.
Number. Memory isn't complete until it's seen. We finish this together.
Do it. I am with you. All of us are.
Her hand slammed the final initiator. Power surged through the emitters, and the projection bay roared to life. The Lithai homeworld unfurled in a cascade of golden light, its continents and sapphire seas glowing fiercely, even as the missile's crimson death filled the viewport. The crimson missile swelled, an angry red sun filling the viewport, promising annihilation. Then, the memorial fleet surged forward, forming a desperate shield, each ship a martyr waiting.
They're going to take the hit. All those people for us.
They're not doing it for us, Elias. They're doing it so the galaxy remembers.
Before they could absorb the blast, a squadron of Vorgon cruisers broke off and dove toward the missile. They fired everything they had, a suicidal point-blank barrage that shattered the missile an instant before it would have hit. The explosion turned night into day. A searing white hole punched through the void. The shockwave washed over the archive ship. The golden projection held, the Lithai homeworld unblemished.
No, this is mutiny. You've just undone centuries of order.
The broadcast continued. The Lethai world blazing a defiant gold against the dark, a promise kept. The Lethai planet settled into sharp detail, continents glowing with bioluminescent green, oceans of liquid sapphire. Then, a city bloomed on the surface. Towers grown from coral, bridges of light spanning wide rivers. Lethai figures appeared, walking streets, children laughing, elders meditating in sunlit gardens.
Our people remember peace. They lived for art and song, not for conquest.
This is what we saved. Not data. Life.
Across the galaxy, countless eyes watched. Warships dimmed their lights in respect. The memorial fleet wept, not from sorrow, but from wonder, a lost world restored. Creel, on his command deck, could only stare. His power meant nothing against memory.
Hold on, Leorin. Just a little longer.
The projection swelled, the Lethai homeworld now a beacon illuminating a quadrant of space. The broadcast was nearly at its end. Leorin stepped forward, her image fierce and bright. Her voice, now woven with 1,000 Lethai echoes, addressed the galaxy.
Humanity, you kept your promise. You carried our memory through fire and silence. We were not lost. To every witness who dared to look, to every ship that refused to turn away, you have given us the only thing immortality needs: your remembrance.
The projected world shimmered, and the Lethai chorus rose, a song of gratitude that needed no translation.
As long as this projection stands, as long as one archive holds our story, we live, not as ghosts, but as a warning and a hope.
It's done. The Lethai are no longer erased. They're everywhere.
Leorin's holographic form solidified, more real than ever. The bioluminescent patterns now a steady, permanent glow. The broadcast transmitted its final packet. Across the galaxy, a single Lethai glyph bloomed on every screen. We are remembered.
Elias, everyone. We did it. The Lethai are back in the light.
The memorial fleet lit their running lights in unison, a silent salute to the resurrected world. The broadcast was over, but its light would never fade. Creel, seething, broadcast one last demand across all channels. Reject the Lethai, purge the human archive. Silence was his only reply. No ship acknowledged, no government obeyed. The Vorgon ascendancy had become a voice no one feared. Margaret stepped to the command chair, her voice steadied by purpose, and opened a channel to every star.
You can kill them. You can burn their world and erase their records. But you cannot make us forget them. That was always the part you couldn't reach.
Her words resonated across the network. Ships across the galaxy blinked their lights in acknowledgement. The Vorgon fleet began to fracture further. Ship after ship peeled away, leaving Creel's command vessel isolated. Creel stood alone on his bridge, the instruments dark, the empire he served crumbling into irrelevance. One by one, the remaining Vorgon ships turned about and vanished into the dark, their engines no longer red, but pale with shame.
You did it, Margaret. You turned a library into a monument. The Lethai will never be erased again.
The memorial fleet did not disband. They had become guardians of memory, the once mocked archivists, now the galaxy's conscience. The war was over. Memory had won. Elias climbed to the bridge, his arm in a sling, his uniform still stained. He refused to miss the end.
You stubborn old man. Shouldn't you be in the infirmary?
Miss the best view in the galaxy. Not a chance.
The memorial fleet performed a slow, coordinated light display, their running lights spelling a single word in Lethi: remembered.
They have not just observed, they have become part of the memory. Thank you, both of you, for everything.
We didn't save a species. We saved what it means to be remembered.
The archive ship's new plaque was transmitted fleet-wide. The Memory Keeper, now bearing the Lethi emblem.
We'll carry more than data from now on. We'll carry them.
A single vessel, scarred but steady, now a beacon. The Lethi world shimmered, and the galaxy, for the first time, remembered together. Messages of solidarity flooded the Memory Keeper's comms. 100 worlds promised to honor the Lethi. Liaran's holographic form was permanently integrated into the ship's core, her presence now a constant memory. Ambassador Creel was arrested on the orders of the Vorgon Council. His policy of erasure was declared a crime. The galaxy enacted a new pact. Any species that preserved the memory of another could never be silenced. A junior Vorgon officer, once a weapons controller, sent a private message: "Thank you for showing us a better way."
We didn't defeat them with weapons. We defeated them with memory.
The Memory Keeper's new directive: to serve as a living library for all species, ensuring no race would ever be forgotten.
We are not gone. And as long as you remember, we never will be.
The memorial fleet dispersed, each ship leaving behind a small, floating light, a vigil that would endure for generations. The Lethi homeworld glowed in the dark, a testament to the power of remembering. And the galaxy, forever changed, chose to become a place where erasure could never win. In the quiet of the infirmary, Margaret sat beside Elias's bed. The beeping monitors were the only sound.
You know, when I first saw that deletion log, I thought we were crazy. Now, I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
We were crazy. But sometimes crazy is just another word for necessary.
She left him to rest and walked the empty corridors, past warped bulkheads and sealed patches, each scar now a chapter. In her quarters, she paused by a small hologram on her desk, a single Lethi flower. She entered the observation lounge, a sealed room with a wide viewport. The Lethi world filled the glass.
All those centuries of backup, mocked as pointless. But we were always waiting for the moment someone needed to remember.
The weight of the past days settled, not as a burden, but as a quiet certainty.
We did what we set out to do. The Lethi are remembered. That's enough.
Outside, the stars witnessed a new constellation, a floating world of memory. Its light, a silent promise to the dark. Liaran appeared beside Margaret in the observation lounge, her light soft as starlight.
You gave us a second life, built from light and data. We are not shadows anymore.
You were always more than shadows. We just reminded the galaxy of that.
Liaran smiled, and for a moment, the line between memory and presence vanished. The Memory Keeper drifted through the void, its projection an eternal sunrise against the dark. The memorial fleet had become a permanent guard, a ring of silent witnesses, and on the ship's hull, the new plaque shone, the Memory Keeper, crowned by the Lethi emblem. No words of conquest or power. Just a promise that what was remembered would never truly die. The image fades to black, and the Lethi glyph remains, a final light. They are remembered.